Hello there, and welcome to the second video in the Private Lessons with David Kettlewell series. I'm making it because I might not meet you. We may never do private lessons, but I want you to have some of the ideas that can help you. I cover this material in lessons. This is a Kong Sheng Lyra with a Kettlewell frictionless mouthpiece slider. If you want to know more about this, you can go on YouTube and look up History of Kettlewell Frictionless Mouthpiece Slider. But in the first lesson, we talked about the truism that chromatic harmonica is a breath instrument. Every note that you play will be driven by the breath. It's true for the first note, true for the last note that you play, which is so exciting, isn't it? I think really in some way. Talked about the need to have control of volume, to be able to phrase and the use of the bell curve, to practice that, kind of a fun thing. And the importance of breathing with the instrument, not just sucking on it and blowing on it, but letting air come through your nose and mouth. So, you stay, oxygenated through proper respiration. Keep your heart rate lower. And the importance of breathing through the diaphragm. But today we're going to talk about one of the two essentials. Really, if you think about it, to play chromatic harmonica, you got to do two things. You have to fire the reeds in an efficient manner under control. Okay, that's one thing, control of breath. And the other one is, you got to get from one place to the other. On the harp, and moving from one place to another. Okay, well, let's talk a little bit. Let's pretend that you don't have a Kettlewell frictionless mouthpiece slider. You've got a conventional harp. And what are your options? Well, we're going to be getting into embouchure here, but we're not there right now. Now we're talking about moving. And you can hold a harp like a corn cob. Okay, and this has the advantage that it's kind of like neutral ergonomically, but you're moving a lot of mass left and right, your arms, which probably total together weigh over 65 pounds is my guess. It's a lot of mass to be moving, okay, in this. And this, you'd have to use, like I'm using now, a microphone, that's kind of in front of you on something. And that's kind of how you have to do this. But if you have a handheld microphone like most players use, including Toots Thielman's when he was playing, you're going to have to modify that a little bit, okay? And so what's another way you can hold your harp? Well, I'll use my slider here, but it'll be true for you too. This is called the pivot. Like a prayer, you're holding and doing this and this. See, it stays even with my lip, doesn't it? But my hands are doing it. But you could also pivot this way, or you can do it in that plane. I kind of prefer, I think, a little more this. So it could be up or it could be like that. But this is much less movement of the mass. It's just a rotation. So that's called like a pivot, okay, versus corn cob, okay. So you're going to want to pick up your instrument. You want to make sure you relax your body, relax your shoulders, relax your neck and your head, and just kind of stay kind of neutral and relaxed through this. And I'm trying to not cover too much in each lesson to give you a chance to just get to know these things. The vast majority of working to learn chromatic harmonica is developing something called motor neuron memory, which means, your body and your brain working together kind of in a way that's just flows and intuitive. That doesn't come when the first time you do it. It develops over time as you repeat these things. So any of the things that we talk about, go ahead and do them on an ongoing basis, a little bit each day, a few minutes. and work on that bell curve, for instance. And now you're going to be working on moving to new note hole positions. And when we come back for lesson number 3, we're going to be talking about how to fire those reeds. Good to see you. See you in the next lesson.